So everybody else has abandoned us tonight, so it's just Tony and I. We put the microphones out for we put the microphones out just for show. So we're going to talk. What are we talking about tonight, Tony?
I have no idea actually.
I mean, is there anything new?
I
stumbled on a anti-Israel video today.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't anti-Israel. What it was somebody who's critical of Israel.
Okay.
Right. So and not because they're Jewish, believe it or not. It's weird. You can actually have critical opinions of Israel that don't have anything to do with their religion.
Sure.
But, yeah, so I found that, and then well, hello there, Tony.
Hello.
We thought it'd be funny to have me go live alone.
It wasn't.
Oh, it was great. We had a lot of comments.
Yeah.
Nobody could hear us.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I was on this website. I don't even remember what it was called earlier. I actually sent the video to Evan. Your beautiful voice is coming in fantastically now. I've been told I have a fireside chat type voice.
Oh, I don't know. But
I mean, less socialist in bent,
Right.
but I'm all. How do you feel about the New Deal?
What deal?
The New Deal.
the New Deal.
I don't know. What
It's
you mean.
really old at this point. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
over
not new.
80 years old. You know, FDR's New Deal.
I don't know what that is.
All right, we'll talk about it and we'll bring it up next week. So, I mean, what's new? What's going on in the world, man? I feel like I've been unplugged for a whole week.
Well, I don't know. We have my little project that I could bring up.
What? Oh, your Beyonce. Can
Yeah.
you flash that?
I think I can. Yeah.
Did you-
Beyonce?
Yeah. Can you flash Beyonce?
Yeah.
We'll be able to see it on this screen. So Tony, because Tony hasn't seen it.
Right. He hasn't. I'll have to bring it up on both
The
screens. So it like went viral basically that who said it? John Oliver was in a picture with the cast of the new Lion King,
that's all I got, bro.
and Beyonce like wasn't there.
I'm
She was
up against the
photoshopped
pipe.
in.
Oh,
So yeah.
I couldn't go any further with legs.
So I should have brought this up
So
ahead of time.
in reference to John Oliver from
Yeah.
The Lion King, did you guys see The Lion King?
No,
I haven't
No,
seen it yet.
I hear it's not very good.
Jake
well,
saw it. That's what the
did Jake-
reviews say.
Yeah,
It's not very
Everything
good.
I've heard. So what's wrong? What's up with this picture?
Oh,
I think that's
this
the
one.
cast, isn't it?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
cast, but
Just
Beyonce wasn't there for the
They,
shoot.
They photoshopped her in.
So
you
originally it
Yeah.
looked a bit more like this.
Can the viewers see
see.
this? Because this is pretty funny.
They see it, yeah. And so
Oh my god.
now I had a better picture, I thought, of Beyonce, so I put that in. And,
All the single ladies.
well, I don't know if it's even that, but she wanted that picture removed from the internet, and I think it belongs here.
Is that the guy?
Does she know how the internet works?
That's what we were talking
Apparently
about
not.
earlier.
Apparently not.
When something goes, it never comes back.
Especially if
Oh,
you
yeah.
want it
It's
to
out
go.
there.
Is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
guy in the upper right? Is he the one that does the like he shoots the guy? He's like, why would
Yep.
you do that? That's that guy. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That
Oh,
meme's
yeah,
hilarious.
that's him. That's him.
Is he also the one that did the "Let Me In" meme? He didn't make the meme, but like,
Yeah,
okay.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, it's so funny.
So
I love that meme.
I've heard a lot of things from my friends that went and saw The Lion King, and everybody's toting that it's just like the original one.
They said it was going to be like a shot-for-shot remake, basically.
So like, I'm asking myself like, why do we need that? Who asked for it to be exactly this?
Because money.
But
You need to watch the Screen Rant things because
so,
they'll
like-
hit the
Yeah,
nail
mostly
right on the head.
money. Also, there were a lot of white voice actors in the first one.
So I mean,
You're
that's
right.
really
If
racist,
artistically,
but if we're gonna, if like say,
God
let's
forbid we
remake the
whitewash
Mona
these
Lisa.
animal cartoons.
No, I know. I've had this.
Now-
I've had the same problem with countless remakes.
I will
of
say
it.
though, this one
Yeah.
does take place in Africa.
It
so
does what?
I will excuse this one because it does take place in Africa.
Oh, he's talking
I
about all the
can't
black
remember.
voice actors. However, they're
Took place in
lions,
Africa.
and lions don't have black people. I mean,
Well, they're not people, so problem
Right.
number one.
Okay.
There are cats.
I've
Are
seen
there
some
black
really.
lions?
There are Black Panthers. They made a movie.
Eat a dick.
Marvel made a movie about that.
Since lions don't speak English, I don't.
Coincidentally, it also took place in Africa. Fun fact.
Whoa, okay. So I've seen some really interesting takes on it. They wanted to go with the super realism, but in the story they're trying to tell, it's hard to convey emotions with lions. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
like Sarah, when I got home earlier, was actually
a good
watching the
point.
original,
Yeah.
And there's a point where it's after the battle or whatever, and Rafiki's like being regal or treating Simba regally, and Simba just hugs him, right, as an
Yeah.
adult. And like you can't do that with lions that
Right.
you're like when you're going for the ultra realistic thing.
Right.
So it's
have you seen that lion hugging the guy?
What about the
no, I get it, Tony, but the point is like these aren't normal.
Well,
Leave it to Tony to come in with some kind of.
Was there a lot of
Eli
stuff
says,
they did
"Hey,
like
speak
that?
lion." Come
Yeah,
at me,
well,
bro.
like in the.
I
Wait,
think
are
he's
we
gonna
live?
show- I
Yeah,
think-
oh yeah.
Oh, we've been live.
Holy crap! I didn't realize that.
Yeah, in
So why
the,
would we be talking
I don't know. I thought we
right
were just
now?
having a conversation.
Also, there's like a slew of comments, like right
I
there.
wasn't paying attention. I'm
in
sorry.
the original, Rafiki also hits Simba on the head when he's being
That's right in the
stubborn.
beginning. Yeah, he's being an
Yeah,
idiot.
and I don't know. I think I preferred the original, and
So, but
Beyonce was bad.
the entire
Very
point I'm trying
flat.
to make is that if they are planning on doing the exact same thing, why? Like,
I agree.
who asked for it?
Nobody.
Income.
Yeah.
It's literally one of those memes. Nobody.
it's made a crap load of money.
Yeah,
It's
but
made
like,
a lot of money,
it's-
mainly
Well, I mean,
overseas.
They've. What's the budget? Do we even know if they're making money
I think it was 250 million. Was the budget?
that seems kind of low, doesn't it? I don't know. I mean, I don't
No,
know what
that
it
seems
costs.
about right.
That's I think
pretty-
it's pretty
yet?
high.
But I
actually.
bet you they haven't made that domestically yet.
That's
Oh,
not a
yeah,
hug.
yeah,
that's an
he's
attack, Tony.
video of
Yeah.
the lion
That's an
hugging
attack.
the
The
dude.
lion is not hugging him; he's eating him. It's different.
Nope, that's a hug, bro.
He definitely
funny.
likes him.
He just doesn't. I don't know.
I've seen one where like the guy's got a bear in his house, and the bear like puts his arm around the guy, like the
And then
music's
he
like,
dies.
and then he eats him.
But yeah,
No, I don't know. It was okay. I think the original was better. I think the voice acting was better in the original. You know, like Seth Rogen did a pretty good job as
Pumbaa.
Pumbaa. But like nothing beats the original, man.
Yeah.
He just like
I got a question. Did they do like the dance scene at the end of the movie with Pumbaa and Timon? Like when he's
I
just
haven't seen the new one yet.
when he's
That's a question for
Jake, hurry up and get over here.
He's seen it.
Oh, you,
I've
you
seen
saw
it.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
Did they do the dance?
Never
scene at the
mind,
end?
we don't
when they're
need you.
trying to distract all the hyenas and stuff.
No.
in the movie. Yeah,
No.
see, that's
They
That's a
just
problem.
charged. Well, I mean, they
Not
were
really.
going
So
for
much
like,
for shot for shot
Some
remake,
other
huh?
stuff.
I
Hey, everybody.
get it, but I don't know. They're-
Hey, can I do a trade in right now? You're off the clock, right? Like I need to do it right
Yeah,
now.
you can do a trade. Go ahead. Yeah, we
Let's
can
go
we can
do it.
carry this conversation without you.
Yeah.
It'll
And
be just like
he
the
even
first
literally
5
said I'm
minutes
off the
that was
clock.
on.
I need it right now.
Yeah, they're just taking forever to finish what they're started to do when I was on the clock.
So, I mean, wait, I feel like something big has happened in the last week that I'm like totally.
Did I miss the whole Lion King conversation?
We can
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
back.
Most
We
of
can
it.
do
we
like-
have
It was
to?
all negative.
I liked it.
I didn't think it was. I wasn't being negative. I just think the original was better.
I
mean,
agree.
That's
I
not
agree.
a negative statement, right?
the
It
original was
looked
better.
beautiful. It was a little awkward with the lions.
We
Talking.
we have a question
Brad,
for Brad.
Joe wants to know if you ever forget to wear pants.
all the time.
He's not wearing them right now.
Absolutely.
Prove it.
That's why we have a table here.
Do you think anyone would bring me Kramer mid-show?
Called me.
What if he just
Bring
gets up
Creamer?
and it's just
Yeah.
big?
Brittany will.
So, someone, anyone watching, can you come to the store and bring me
It's like a
coffee,
grass
Kramer?
skirt, but hair.
Or
Dude,
how?
that's all on you. I haven't drank coffee in like a month.
I know it's all on me. No PlayStation shirt, Jake,
I mean,
or hat.
what else do you? I mean, what else do you have to say about the Lion King?
I agree. The original was better. There's a lot of things that they didn't have in the new one, like Rafiki was pretty much a non-character.
He was very flat, right?
He was a non-character. in
Rafiki
the-
was so good in the cartoon too. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a non-character in this
that
new
big
movie.
lady.
He had a
Badass.
ton of personality.
Yeah.
And,
In the first one,
that,
yeah.
That wasn't.
We
that
only
wasn't
had like
there.
3 scenes
I re-
too in the
yeah.
first one.
Who played
but
Rafiki in
It
the
was
original?
enough to.
I thought it was a high profile actor too.
Oh, I thought it was just like a random.
It was
They missed the
it was like
boat
a new,
by not
not new,
making
but it was like a very
Rafiki,
old black guy,
um,
African guy.
what's his name? Morgan Freeman should have played Rafiki's voice in this. one.
way.
No.
That would have been.
That would have been
No
terrible.
way.
They,
Yeah,
should,
no.
they missed it. They
That would
missed
have
it.
been
They
weird.
I don't think it should have been.
Like,
But he was a non-character. That
He's
was
supposed to be
upsetting.
kind of eccentric and
Yeah, no,
everything
yeah.
Morgan
Freeman
Freeman
could
is
be
not.
eccentric.
Right.
maybe like.
I don't think
well,
I've ever seen him in an
Go
eccentric
find like
role.
a
Samuel
genuine
Jackson.
like
That'd be a
Jamaican
good one.
shaman.
That
That's
would
Rafiki.
What's that?
So
What is
uh,
Samuel
Samuel
Africa?
Jackson.
Nobody knows.
this isn't much of a spoiler because the movie is almost a shot-for-shot remake of
Yeah,
the
it-
original.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So there's like not really, we can't really say spoiler alert because it's like The Lion King. But one thing that bothered me was the whole remember who you are scene with Rafiki,
Yeah.
Simba, and
And-
Mufasa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole like interaction between Rafiki and Simba in the original was so great.
Yeah, because that's at the point where he's hitting him with the stick, and he's
well,
like,
he didn't
"Wake
even
up."
have the stick
I know, not
in the
until
new
the
one,
end.
and then he pulls it out at the end. He's like,
Yeah,
"My
man.
old friend." I was like, "You should have already had that."
Yeah, War Monkey.
There should have been no like reconnection. It should have been there all along.
There was a lot
That's
of things
upsetting.
I might have liked better. I really like Seth Rogen as Pumbaa.
Really?
And
I think the original was still better. I think you did a good job, but
That's
it's hard
fair.
it's hard to top the original. I mean,
I
that might be nostalgia.
it made me want to watch more interactions
Timon
with.
Timon wasn't as good.
No, I mean
The
what-
chemistry
what
wasn't
was-
as good.
Hey,
What
don't
was-
knock. Don't. He was the only white guy in the cast.
What was
so,
his
like,
name in the
I
original?
don't think John Oliver was.
Huh? Yeah,
Seth
John Oliver's in
Rogen's
Kiss.
literally white.
Yeah,
Which is
three
in
white
three
guys.
white
He's
people.
Jewish.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
that
Is
doesn't
he?
count anymore.
So he's above the pro.
anymore.
So I forgot who the
Never
actor who played
No, it
Timon
never
before,
did.
but he's like a really good actor.
They exclude
You know,
I'm not
themselves
being racist. I'm
I
just
watched a
saying
video
he's-
like about
you know,
like people that were
until they touch kids.
are more qualified to critique
they're
it
white.
than myself, and
I
they,
don't
they
know.
talked about their
White
singing
supremacists
ability
hate
that like
Jews.
I just don't even.
You guys
Like,
really
really?
want to laugh? When I was a kid watching The Lion King, I did not know that
don't.
Simba and the chick were banging. Never put two and two together.
funny.
They
Oh, I
don't
did.
do it on screen, bro.
So-
I know, but like they didn't. They heavily imply that's what's happening.
So
And as a kid, I was just like,
Oh, during
why
the
are they
music
laying
scene, you're
together?
saying?
Yeah.
So my
Heavily
my
implied.
friend at his wedding during the wedding ceremony,
Exactly.
like as the
Feeling the love.
after the bride got up to the altar,
Wait, what are we talking about?
at my friend's wedding. See,
Okay.
At my friend's wedding, after the bride got to the altar and they're
Wait, who's
standing there,
wedding?
a friend of mine.
Just shut up.
They did like a little like
Yeah, but who was
they
it?
did they played
Jake,
they
who
had
was
the,
it?
they-
Just
my friend
power through it, bro.
my friend played
were
my
your
friend had a
friends
band
doing?
that played a song
The story
and they
is
played
taking
that song
forever.
like "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?" and I leaned over. I was like, "Are they playing the Lion King sex song right now at their wedding?"
Did you start like?
I regret that we didn't at our wedding now.
Did that did
play it
that
in the hotel room.
actual moment like take longer to play out than it took for you to tell the story?
Listen,
It's
to
about
be
the same-
fair,
same amount of time.
that was your guys' fault. I was ready for the story.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
all knew
three,
what the punchline
three
was.
out of 4 of you were interrupting me.
So okay, did something big happen this week that I've just somehow totally missed? Like
I'm
okay,
not sure.
a big 40K player died.
Oh,
I didn't hear about that. Who died?
Jeff Robinson died.
I'm not familiar with
He's,
him.
you know
How
who
are
that
we
is,
gonna
don't
get
you?
along without Jeff Robinson?
Listen, man, I get it. Like, but he did die.
I mean, that sucks.
Yeah, I
I'm not
mean,
making light of it. I'm just saying, like,
There's a couple things that have happened in pop culture, I suppose.
Fire Emblem came out and it's incredible.
I didn't know about that.
Little
Rattle
Nas
them off.
X,
still trying
Old
to
Town
suffer
Road
through
is
that
the
Kingdom
longest
Hearts
number
garbage.
1 on Billboard history.
Really?
we
Yeah.
need to bring that up next about how
It's over.
bad of a game that is.
Society's doomed.
I thought it was
Kingdom
something
Hearts
from
3.
like
Oh, it's so bad.
Listen, man.
Huh?
Judging
I thought
by
it
the
was
first
like
two, I
something
knew it was
from,
gonna be trash.
Jesus,
no,
the second one was
Pink
gold.
Floyd.
Never
I
played
gotta
it.
give you
Old Town
Detroit,
Road
too.
was
bring
is
it?
the longest number
I
1
Unbelievable.
single
I'm
on
on-
Billboard history.
That's wild.
There was
Yeah.
a lot
It's
of
actually
really,
not a bad song.
there was a lot of
Old
really
Town
dumb
Road
political stuff. that
is the
happened
long.
this week. That's
It's the
for
longest
sure.
reigning.
don't
So
know.
like a lot of
Some-
songs go to 2 then back to 1.
Right. This hasn't
It's
left
the longest length of being
What's
1.
Old Town Road?
Gonna take my horse to the Old Town Road.
Oh man,
Right.
I know. That's why.
I
Come on,
get
it's
We
it's
gotta
not.
keep going.
No, we're
Dude,
in
I'm
it
gonna
now.
be honest.
Um,
There are much worse songs.
That song's not that
for,
bad.
for example, literally anything that Post Malone has ever created.
I've actually liked a couple. Post
Have you heard
Malone
of
songs.
Have you heard
I couldn't
Sunflower?
name one.
number 1 on the
Listen,
Sunflower's a pretty good
every
song.
That's why
time
I'm
I
just saying
see
there are much
Post
worse
Malone's
songs.
face, it
Fair.
makes me angry.
Have you seen all those memes? It's like Post
I had
Malone.
the
Post
same
Malone's
feeling.
the 1% of
Literally
criteria
some
that
human trash.
soap won't kill.
I think he's actually a pretty decent character.
He
He's
just
like
looks
He may be a
admit-
decent character, but
he admits that he's a bad singer. and
Mike,
that-
where are you
do you
at,
know
bro?
he's entirely
Discounts.
a socialite? He's pretty much the Kim
Discounts? What?
Kardashian of the music world. Like
Yeah.
he was trying desperately to become famous. Anybody who is trying to become famous
Who's
shouldn't
that?
be famous. Post Malone.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, but some people just need that. Like, they need validation from other people.
And you're the one giving it to
And
him.
you need validation from millions of other people.
Another thing that happened is the Fortnite World Cup happened.
I did
one
see that.
cares.
That's
That's
not
pretty-
The dude,
no,
the kid
okay.
won 3
You
million
can't
Regardless
say
if you
that.
don't
if
care-
I can't say that I don't give a shit about 40K.
Look, I understand. None of you guys play, and it's kind of irrelevant. But like the prize purse for this tournament was
$3 million.
considerably insane.
That's fair. What? What I missed.
Got me right here, man.
That was just first place.
And it got a like already.
First place got $3 million. That was it, and then everyone else got paid a whole bunch. Yeah, I think it was a $30 million tournament.
That's insane.
That's more than golf tournaments, like
That's
big,
insane.
like major golf tournaments.
Dakota had his heart
I
broken
seen-
by
I
Post
seen-
Malone.
terrible.
I seen the
Yo,
Tiger
we
Woods.
need to give this attention.
I got a motion, Dakota.
Dakota-
Fortnite is the video game world of golf.
I would not agree with that.
Really?
Fortnite's still more entertaining than golf.
I would disagree.
Have you played
Oh, no,
golf?
discounts
Have
on
you
pro-
played?
Have you played Fortnite?
It's pretty
Yeah.
entertaining.
I mean,
I mean,
I
I
like
played it one
watching
time.
golf.
Fortnite is a lot dumber
Then what?
than golf.
Yeah.
Think Fortnite is dumber?
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Listen,
How many
Fortnite
people do you
just
know
wasn't
play
for me.
golf and
yeah,
do the
I'm not gonna
floss?
dog it.
Yeah,
I
it just
think
wasn't for me.
it has some redeeming qualities. I really like the season, like how they do the seasons on it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I'm really big into graphics, and it was just too cartoony. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah,
That's fair.
and I don't
I
really
didn't like
like
the look of it.
competitive
Wow,
play.
right there.
I like cooperative
Wow.
play.
Yeah, that's a bunch of garbage.
Mute
Okay.
that. Can we censor that person?
who is that?
Actually, I don't think I can on.
On Twitch.
Listen,
going on?
I don't know if I
in
can on
any
Twitch.
case,
we don't need to censor them. Just ignore them.
That's fair.
Can we censor them?
Don't bring attention to it.
Freedom of speech.
oh
no.
god. Oh, you know,
Oh, I
we
think I
gotta,
can get
we
rid of
gotta
them
get back to our
entirely or not
censorship
at all.
conversation.
So anyways-
All right, so
That's
this
right
this
or not?
this is an intentional attack. Like, this might be somebody trying to prove a point.
Probably. Now it's just getting
Well,
funny.
clearly
Oh,
they're
wow.
It was created
intelligent.
12 minutes ago.
I know, Clone Wars.
Holy
That-
crap! Okay, so yeah, that's right. Somebody made.
That is not considerably. That's not acceptable.
Anyway, the Clone War release for Legion.
I'd say yeah.
Yeah, axe 'em, man. Like, if they want to behave like that, like that's
Who's that?
stupid.
What's their name? Can you say? Wow.
You
No,
can't say
don't
that.
wanna
I
say
can't
it.
believe Twitch
Okay.
let him make
All
that
right.
account. But
Let's move on instead of giving it attention.
Fair enough.
Was
The-
that someone
the-
else too?
The Legion announcement for Clone Wars coming. I seriously thought it was
Okay.
like November.
no,
Oh,
yeah.
it's-
So,
it's
so
September, I
let's yeah,
think.
let's unpack this a little bit because so you guys don't know all that much, but Clone Wars is the first big expansion to Legion.
Yeah.
Right, so like they're going into the prequel trilogy that opens the game way up. Right, it doubles the amount of factions.
That,
It really introduces the high ground.
I think it will. There's
I
a,
think, yeah, I think
there
that's
is a
what
mechanic.
it is.
There's going to be some
Are you-
mechanic.
There's
Is
going
there
to be
gonna
something.
sand?
Yeah,
Sand.
but everybody's going to hate it because it's so gritty.
We hate sand.
just gets
It just
everywhere.
gets everywhere.
At any rate, okay. So what I really wanted to talk about with
Tony,
this
I would say yeah.
was the
It's one.
Gen Con is this week, right? So Gen Con literally starts tomorrow, right? And as a store owner, I have some very strong opinions about Gen Con, right? Biggest board game con in the world.
Okay.
And typically, these companies do some dirtbaggery where they release new and exclusive games at Gen Con,
Yeah.
right? So,
Why is that bad?
well, it's bad for stores. It's not bad for the brand, right? So, like, they take, Fantasy Flight will take 50,000 copies of the new Clone Wars expansion, right?
Yeah.
So people will get Clone Wars tomorrow. I, on the other hand, won't get my hands on it for at least 2 weeks. It'll probably be longer than that.
So this is why I don't
No-
like Gen Con.
knowing Fantasy
I
Flight,
don't
yes.
like. No, it's not Gen Con's fault. I don't like the practice. I think you can do it there, but make. I don't know. That product should be available to the masses.
Maybe do some kind of like limited release, like instead of like
Yeah,
you know.
because all they're doing is just they're exercising their advantage as being both a seller and a distributor. You know what I mean?
But don't you think that that's gonna create buzz? Like that's gonna
It
create
does,
the
but like
community.
Yeah, like STC
especially for us. Like, look how close we are to Gen Con, right?
Mhm.
So we've had this happen a lot in the past where there's a new hot board game, and everybody just goes to Gen Con to get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, they have every right to do it, but when you're talking about competition, how do I compete with that? You just
Yeah.
can't. You know what I mean? So I'm going to miss out on
Take a
your $30
hit.
or $50. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I get, but at the same time, not everyone can go to Gen Con or like San Diego
But
Comic Con,
that's
right? When they
that's
have
another
exclusives,
problem, right?
But the thing is, like, sometimes things are learned about it because of Gen Con. So like some hot
That's
new
fair.
board game or something is
That's
learned
fair.
about it,
But
and
in
then
the case
stores
of the Clone
benefit.
Wars, that's not the case.
Well, fair
So-
enough. Fair
and
enough.
So I mean, like, if they were being responsible, you'd think like they'd sell one single thing.
So
like,
maybe
one pallet of it or
David,
whatever.
no,
David
not
said
even
we
that,
should
like,
go to Gen Con and swoop it up, but I don't think we would be able to resell
No,
Yeah, I
it.
don't
no,
think
we
that's legal. I
could.
don't
We could.
think
And we get in
Because-
trouble for reselling it, probably. But
Right.
we
And
would
you'd have
also
to play full
buy it at
price.
retail.
Right.
Yeah.
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 No, but what I'm saying is, like, you know how you can get like a start collecting box.
Yeah, I got
So
you.
just sell half of that start collecting box. You know what I mean? Like, sell 6 models from
Yeah.
one side and 6 models from the other side. It's a Gen Con exclusive thing,
Right.
and then the start collecting stuff is actually at the stores.
Right.
And be
I'm really
responsible.
in favor of unique items. So like, but not miniatures. Okay, so I have a really fine list. So they released at Star Wars Celebration a couple weeks ago, or maybe several months ago now. They released a alternate sculpt
Celebrate that.
Dude,
terrible
it used to be
series.
An
much
alternate
different
sculpt of what?
of Darth Vader. Right. So the Darth Vader model that comes in the core set's not that great. But the new one that they had was fantastic. He was like blowing through a wall or something. It was really cool. But they only had like, 100,000 of them or whatever, and you could only get it from going to this event. GW does that all the time with
And
exclusive
I
miniatures.
hate it because
Why do you
so
hate
many
that?
of them are so cool, and you can't
Yeah,
get them
No, I mean you
unless
don't like
you
it
fly
because
to
you
London.
can't get it.
Well, yeah, some of that
know.
stuff. Now, like with releasing games early or whatnot at Gen Con, that's a direct business thing.
That's
you know what I mean? So, like,
different,
there's as a fan of the product and then as a seller of the product, two different takes on it. You know what I mean? I really feel like it's a
They
it
wouldn't
really
want-
kicking at the people that are supporting
Yeah,
you.
but I don't think it's hard for me to accept that they would be doing that intentionally. Mm-hmm. They're
What do you
probably doing it out of ignorance. They
Well,
don't care
they're doing
to
it
care about
because
you.
They're right. We're an afterthought.
Yeah.
The store is an afterthought.
That's what I'm
so
saying.
so that's almost as bad.
See, and
as
I
being
disagree with that
malicious.
so much.
I don't
Like,
think
I
it's-
really
it's,
feel that
you know.
it's stores like us that keep things like them alive. I really do because, like,
I agree.
We
So-
are the place that they play.
And I agree with that
It
too.
is like a
I
huge-
just don't think that they're sitting in a room somewhere and there's 8 guys that
No,
are like,
it's
you know,
not-
don't
it's
worry
not-
about the.
it's not
we'll worry about
spiteful.
them later. I don't think they're doing that.
No, I think they're
It's
saying,
more
hey,
like-
we can sell 100,000 units at Gen Con, and we're going to do it.
And nobody's bringing up the brick and mortar.
Yeah, and I think if somebody did, they'd say, well, we're going to sell these anyway. I think 'cause I mean, for the most part, like Jake said, Gen Con's very limited. I mean, there's a lot of people that go to Gen Con.
Okay, we gotta address this.
What's going on? Let's hear it.
Eli,
What do you say?
you read it.
I can't. I
well,
can't.
Star
half
Wars-
of it gets cut off.
Star Wars is a hell of a lot more publicized than Star Trek.
It is.
Yeah.
Let's talk
It
about
is.
the new Picard trailer. Can we talk about
Do-
this
do we
right
have
now?
to?
I think we talked about it
what?
last
Well,
time.
got
I think
so
you're the
excited. No,
only
it released
person on the
today.
podcast that
Oh.
likes
What did?
Star Trek. Do you like Star Trek?
Picard.
I
I don't know what that is.
appreciate Star Trek. I haven't really
Star
watched
Trek:
it.
The Next Generation. Picard.
dude,
Captain
he's-
Picard.
dude,
Patrick
he-
Stewart. Professor X.
I got it.
He's
Look, I've never
Young-
watched.
young or
I've never
old?
watched it, but I know
Bald.
Patrick Stewart
bald.
was most prominently famous
Look,
for.
just because I'm the
Picard
only person
before
here,
anything.
and I shared a ton of stuff to you. Just because I'm the only person here right now that likes Star Trek does not mean that's what the way it is in America.
Listen, man. Like I said, you sent me that poll,
Yeah.
and like I said, to me, the amount of consumption of a product doesn't mean that it's a good product.
I would
right?
say at this point,
Yeah,
Star Trek's
I-
a better product.
You know, I have a hard time.
very
I
well
would
maybe.
say that
I have
if
a
the
really hard
majority
time
of your
agreeing
product
with
is
that.
bad, it's not a good product.
like I
If
Well, it
the
depends on
more
what you mean by
people
good.
consume
Well, no,
it,
I know.
the more
Case in point.
content comes out.
Case in point, the bubonic plague killed a third of Europe's
okay,
population.
you can't. You
a lot
can't
of
come at me
people
with
were
that.
on it.
You
Hold
can't.
on,
You
hold
it
on.
wasn't
can't
good.
come
I
at me
got
with that.
this.
That
Hold
is
on,
not. That's not an apt comparison in
perspective.
any way.
If you're looking at the perspective of the disease,
Oh, I'm
the media,
You know what?
that's
And-
pretty
and I'm
successful.
sorry.
We're gonna show this-
Didn't it
call the
only
show
kill like
continuous
5% of the
controversy.
population?
Yeah, that's
Only
true,
5%. You know, okay.
Listen, Star Trek is great.
I think it was
How
almost
many
that
people
hard.
have a Facebook now?
I don't-
Do you think
Exactly.
do you think it's
Fa-
more than 5%?
Facebook's not good. A lot of people are on Facebook. Facebook's not a good thing.
Really?
okay.
Facebook's
They're
not
offering-
Back to being
There's
serious.
nobody
People
offering
argue
anything
that
better,
Star Wars is better
unfortunately.
than Star Trek. now?
No, that's not what I'm arguing at all. It's a whole different
No,
argument.
no, you're saying like
No, he said the
I
plague
can't make
is
that
good.
I
argument.
think inherently, if a product is very, very highly consumed, like I think that inherently makes it a good product.
I disagree.
That means it was successful.
It depends on
So
what you're
Fortnite.
using to.
That,
On your
that's
metric.
kind of what I'm getting at.
You know, okay, look, Fortnite.
First
at
of all, I
one-
do think Fortnite's a great game.
Fortnite
It
at
is
one
a
point in
great
time.
success,
I don't.
too.
I actually, you know what? No, for 2018, it was the highest profiting game in the history of ever. in 2018.
So
Okay,
there's two sides
No,
to
so-
that, right?
But,
so
no, but I'm saying that like even though us at this table might not enjoy it,
I love it.
that makes it a great game.
No,
because
I think Fortnite is a great game.
Because
And I hate
it is
it.
No, it
insanely
may
popular.
be. It may be, but okay. Now, how many? You're
But I'm
saying
gonna
if
back
somebody
you
doesn't
up.
consume something, it's inherently bad.
No, I'm going to back you up a little bit here. I think there's a fine line, right? So
It's-
I
Fortnite,
think people cite the volume of something
Just
more
get-
than they should. Go
real
ahead. I'm
fast,
sorry.
right? So
real fast. Shut up.
Fortnite, you can say, is a very successful game, right? It made
Yep.
more money than almost any other game, and it's a free title. Think about that.
That's a really. That's an indictment
That's where the bad
the
part
setup.
comes in. It was so popular that it changed the industry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so yes, it was successful. Yes, it was a good game, but it probably wasn't good that it was so good.
That's fair. Like a lot of people are reverting to microtransactions way more than they need to.
Well,
I
it's
don't-
more
I
than
don't
that.
really
It's, look at Anthem.
feel like
it's
that's a
like
bad
games
thing.
as a service.
yeah.
I don't
They
feel like that's a
launch you
bad thing.
They don't ship you
Huh?
a finished product now.
I don't-
It's-
I don't-
they're
I don't
planning
think
on
the
a
concept
3
is
year.
bad.
It depends on how. I think Fortnite does microtransactions perfectly.
I 100% agree. You need,
I think other games
pay
like-
to win is not the way to go.
I think games like Anthem, Assassin's Creed,
getting some
and other
comments.
games do microtransactions terribly.
You guys go ahead. I'm going to read.
Fentanyl is heavily consumed. That doesn't mean it's a good product. Well, it's actually extremely
Eli,
functional.
I'm
It's
gonna
just
agree to you. I'm gonna
Okay.
agree with you on that.
Well, then, is Walmart a good store?
I don't.
It's cheap and it's convenient. Is it good?
Walmart.
So
I don't think-
consumer.
no,
David, I
that's a
agree with
great-
what you're
that's
saying.
a great example. So
And
I think it's
I'm
exactly
saying
the
it's-
same
it's
as
great
Fortnite.
for the
David
consumer.
says
So, yeah,
fentanyl
it's
is
great.
heavily consumed. Not a good product.
So,
30
I think
seconds
we're
later.
just
Just said
good
that.
here. So I think it is a good store. It's a great store for the
painkiller,
consumer,
I don't know.
but
It's
bad for
convenient.
the industry.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's really bad for brick and mortar.
It really. Yeah,
What's
it depends
that?
what
It's
you're.
bad for the
Yeah.
economy and kind
Yeah.
of.
It depends what
yeah,
you're
it's
measuring
just-
it by.
But it's hard
good
to
for the
say
consumer.
that's like it's
That's
hard
fair.
to judge good
I
or
see your
bad.
point there.
Right.
Like it's entirely a
Walmart's
perspective thing.
objectively bad for
Yeah.
for local
And,
communities.
and
so-
I will agree with that.
Yeah. But those local communities also still, on the plus side of it, have a cheap avenue for food.
Yeah, it depends. It
You
really
know?
depends on what you're talking
And
about.
other
'Cause
products.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not good or bad. It's really just kind of different because it is. It
It's
can be.
impactful.
Yes, it's very impactful. It can be good depending on where
Yeah.
it's at.
Well, I would say their product is not particularly good.
Well, it's
But it's
not.
cheap.
It's not
I'd
particularly
agree.
quality,
I'd agree with
right?
that.
No, it's not quality.
you for coming in.
But you're going there for convenience and
Yeah.
for price.
Yeah, exactly. But
It's okay that you're accepting the fact that you're not going to get the same level of quality that you will at.
that's perfectly.
Other
But
stores.
you got to look at it on sort of multiple levels, though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So-
There's a
so-
lot of metrics that you have to look at.
So
Are we
Walmart-
measuring it by
Walmart-
quality? Are
Walmart
we,
employs something like 1.5 million people,
Yeah.
right? Like,
And like
it's
30% of them are attractive too.
30?
I mean, I'm not
Not
sure.
that many.
I'm
That's
not sure
way
if
too
that-
high of a number.
Look it
That's
up, man.
pretty high.
I'm not sure if that necessarily goes
There's
in the
like
metric for
hot
determining if
people
it's
at
good or
Walmart. There's
bad.
like whole
but
websites dedicated
It's
to just super
Attractive
just-
Walmart.
I've
I'm just saying
seen-
there's a lot.
I feel like
of
there's a
There's
lot
also whole websites dedicated to the customer.
To the
base.
Yeah, I've seen
Walmart.
those.
yeah, that's true. But there's a lot
Those
of
are my
people receiving a paycheck
favorite
because
memes.
of Walmart. So
No, okay, now Brad, I
But
fundamentally agree with what you're saying. The problem with Walmart, the fundamental problem with Walmart is that if you don't like what they provide, now you have an alternative in some places. In the future, you're not going to have an alternative.
well, we don't
No, we're
necessarily
gonna have the Bank of Amazon.
Well, right,
Yeah.
we
Well,
don't
Amazon is a
necessarily
pure
know
monopoly.
that. Now
That
there've
needs to
been
be
The
broken up.
Amazon needs people need to stop shopping at
It
Amazon.
needs
I
to be
agree,
broken up.
but
I've
it's so
stopped.
convenient
I
and
agree
cheap.
wholeheartedly. Yeah.
I mean, Amazon's our biggest competitor.
And you support them.
I
I don't buy anything on Amazon unless
Dude,
it's
and
overseas.
I really appreciate that stance. It's just so hard, like price wise, when you're trying to save. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, I get it.
Is it
but-
really that much cheaper? Like I honestly never even
it
consider.
can be.
I
It
can
depends
never
on what you're
I
buying.
never
How
consider
much
Amazon
toilet
for
paper
anything.
do you
Not for
buy
me.
in like bulk?
I mean,
You know, like for instance,
Yeah.
you know, you can get it for $6 for a month's supply, or you can go to Walmart and spend $12 on a week's supply.
Yeah. It's a little when you're trying to
how
cut
much
every
time do
corner.
you spend on the toilet? Like, are you okay?
He's talking
Dude,
about
dude,
the
dude,
store.
dude,
Dude, I totally get it.
But no, no, so like Brad, I agree with you that like especially on the job point. But what if? So let's say you have 3 brick and mortar stores, right? So
Yeah.
they're small businesses.
Yeah.
Their prices are not competitive with Walmart, but they employ the same amount of people that one Walmart would, right? So
Like
let's
one-
say
one
you got
department.
3 of them. Walmart's not here.
In a given
No,
community.
I completely
So Walmart
under.
comes
yeah.
in,
Comments?
undercuts all the prices. Those people now have to work for Walmart, and those 3 businesses that have been there for 100 years are gone now.
No, yeah, I totally get. I
You know?
totally get how like monopoly works and how it's bad. The only issue is it's not.
Well, that's not even a
That's not
monopoly
a
issue.
monopoly,
That's
yeah.
that's
well,
just.
if they
And
are
that's
if
purely
they're able to
Amazon,
outcompete
like,
all the
they-
other.
Yeah, but that doesn't
that's-
mean it's a monopoly.
It's more
That
of
just means that
corporate.
they have.
It's more of corporatization
So
over
I had a
brick
friend.
and mortar.
I had a friend in Toledo who
Regardless, it's still-
who got some. They were X-Men like anime movies, right? He was selling them for $30 because that's what he could order them at. You go to Walmart and you get the same thing for $12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they buy them in such a big
Yeah.
quantity,
Well, yeah,
they
they-
can ship them across.
They
the
tell
yeah,
nation.
it's how
Wizards,
Amazon
we're not
works
going to
too,
buy
right?
your,
Exactly.
we're not going to buy
So
your
it's-
product unless you give us this price.
Exactly.
And they can literally just walk
And
away.
they have
'cause
the
it's-
infrastructure
Well,
to
No,
What
absolutely,
they did-
absolutely,
What
absolutely.
they did recently
But-
with Magic was pretty terrible for brick and mortar stores.
what did-
But this is
Walmart?
why I say
Or
that you
you
can't
Amazon?
really you can't really
What did
tout
they
it
do?
as
They made a
overall
deal with-
bad or overall good. I think it does really.
I disagree.
Vary
I
depending
disagree.
on
I
the-
think you
depending
can-
on
Well, I
the
mean,
think
I
you
guess
can look at
it's,
the
it's
net.
all in perspective.
Yeah, there's a net-
that's
there's a
true
net
as well.
positive and net
That's
negative,
Some
and you can
parts are
take a
gonna be
look.
bad,
There's also
depends
the
on how
long,
you're looking at it.
the long component of it. Like in the long run, it's not going to be good because these people.
Well, it depends though, because it could be
I am not
really good
judgy.
for the economy as well.
But I don't. I don't. No, I don't. I
I'll just-
disagree. Service jobs
Sam's
can't
Club
be
is
good for the
Walmart.
economy.
Stifling local
That's not
businesses.
true.
And a service economy is not gonna. You've got to produce things, and if Walmart's your biggest employer, I think they're in a lot of trouble
Yeah.
because
well,
those people don't have any discernible skills. They can go from
Well, it-
Walmart to McDonald's, and they're still not making any meaningful contribution
Well,
to the
that's
economy.
fair, but there are a lot of different kind of services as well. So
Well, I
take
mean,
take
you-
me for
that's-
instance,
that's
right?
unfair, though.
I'm going to school to become a lawyer. Service industry. It's a highly profitable service industry where individuals make a lot of money. I currently work at Invisible Fence where I make $18 an hour. Service industry. I make a lot of good money.
That's anecdotal, though. I
That's-
agree.
that's-
I
that's
agree
fair.
with him.
That's
you
fair.
gotta have. You gotta have.
Well,
some
those
kind
jobs
of
are absolutely
substantial product.
necessary. Like I'm not poo-pooing the
Well,
Walmart
you know, they-
worker.
Does-
they
okay,
have
what
someone
does-
has
My
to do
point
it.
being, there's a lot of high-paying service
Does
industry
stifling?
jobs.
yeah, but
Yes,
that's
Does
but there's
stifling-
more
that's cherry picking. I
within the
think.
manufacturing.
Does stifling local
It depends on
business
where you're at.
growth
Well,
bad or good
there's-
for the economy?
There's manufacturing jobs no matter where you.
Say that
Depend.
again.
Said does stifling local businesses opening up bad or good for the economy?
It depends on the competition.
If we're talking
in the
about,
area.
if we're
No, I think
if,
it's
if the
not
future is
bad.
trending
Not
towards
necessarily.
corporate businesses competing with corporate businesses.
Okay, I mean,
stifling like you
Take
can't open a.
Acropolis for example, right?
I
Go ahead. I'm
understand.
sorry. Finish
I'm
your
saying in
point.
Adrian, you cannot. If you wanted to open up like a food market, like you have to be very niche to make it work, because you can't compete with Country Market, Myers, and Country Market's barely surviving compared to between Myers and
Money
and
money
Walmart.
leaving the local economy
Actually,
is always
funny
a net
enough,
bad.
on the grocery end, Country Market kills both of them.
Do they?
Like, yeah, no, they've been leading Adrian for a while.
Well, that
like,
may be just because it's
the
been here
on
forever.
the grocery end.
Well, yeah, that's
But
what I'm
maybe
saying.
on
and-
the quality, but I don't know about the prices.
No, not on
Probably
prices,
not.
but in terms of of revenue, and like again solely on the grocery.
Well, that's crazy to me
Portion.
because like Country Market, that place needs to be like.
Yeah, but
It
high,
needs
but,
a- it
but
needs
higher
an update.
higher prices you can have lower sales, right? You can have
Yeah.
lower
Yeah.
volume at a higher price. So
I
like
think
it
what
can
he's
be-
saying
A lot of
though, is
people
they
think-
take in more revenue than
Yeah,
Walmart.
Yeah, that's what
A lot of people
revenue.
think Country Market
it's
is
because
fresher.
they have these business meetings at work.
They don't
and,
do
you know,
more
it's-
volume.
It's referenced.
They
talk
might
about like
might not.
the
I
Well, I
don't know.
would
competition,
guarantee
the
they
scales
don't
of
do more
everything.
volume. They don't.
So yeah, that's the
it
thing.
takes
But then there's
5
also
gallons of
Aldi.
milk to move 1
So
gallon
like you have
over
to
there.
compete with those four, and more that's actually where Aldi like their niche thing is, right? Like they have the cheapest everything because
Who
they
does Walmart?
Aldi's-
Aldi.
Aldi.
They have
Right.
off-brand
Yeah.
everything.
And they're doing a huge campaign to up their quality right now.
Yeah.
Aldi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all of these are big businesses,
Well,
right?
can we
like
start
relative
that
Well,
huge
relatively
campaign to
speaking,
get
Country
bags
Market.
at
Country
Aldi's?
Market's a
Can we
fairly
start a huge
local thing.
campaign to get bags at Aldi?
That's fair.
Or maybe a cart without having to put a quarter in the.
I mean, let's
Well,
talk.
you get your
Yeah, but
quarterback, to be fair.
you don't have cart
I
pushers.
don't have a quarter to begin with.
You don't have
Nobody
to pay
does.
a cart pusher because you put a quarter in and
That's
someone
fair.
to take it back.
Let's talk
That-
about.
I get
it's
how it
cutting
works,
huge
but I
Oh
always
my
have to
God.
go in there without a cart because I don't carry quarters.
Well, if you know you're going to Aldi, you should.
Why
then I
does-
gotta go to the bank to get a quarter.
You're
why-
right.
Why does
So, okay,
you
so
should
if-
you
if-
should premeditate?
Oh, my Lord.
Know that you need to have a quarter.
How do I get it, Dakota?
You're
one in
telling
your
me
car.
that
If
if
you
you go
break a
home
dollar,
right now,
they'll
you
give
can't
you
find a
4 of
quarter
them.
anywhere.
I don't have quarters. I don't ever carry cash.
There
How many
has-
times
there
have
has
I
to be-
paid for
there
anything
has-
in your store with cash?
Not enough.
There
All right,
has
we're moving
to be
on.
something.
Just keep one in your
I
car.
could probably get
Just
10
know
on my
it's
car.
your
If
Aldi
If
quarter.
they had a card and I could swipe it, I'd be like all on board. Dude.
Okay, so let's back to this. Is Walmart a good thing? Okay, so if let's just compare Acropolis to Walmart,
You know,
right?
real
Oh,
quick,
look,
real
Alex
quick,
is
let's
on
go
here.
over these comments before we go, because we're gonna
Yeah,
leave some
sorry.
of them behind before we get into that. Sorry, he kept scrolling. Comments
Yeah.
came pretty quick.
They did.
That's a wall of text, man. I can't. We're
Alex
behind.
is asking if we have any of us have studied economics. Well, you know what?
I,
Hello.
Regardless of whether I've studied it, I can tell you whether it's a good idea or a bad
Now, are
idea.
we talking
like
in-depth?
reasonably?
Yeah, that's not.
I mean, I've taken economic courses, yes, but to say study,
Yeah.
no. But I do understand
Not even rich enough
simple
for courses.
economics, believe it or not. Okay, so the
apparently
Walmart
I'm a
to
pop.
Acropolis comparison, right? So let's say Walmart puts Acropolis out of business because people
Everybody's hating me right now.
buy more expensive. I don't know why.
It's-
over
I don't
over the
carry
course.
cash.
rightfully
You should
so.
carry cash. Cash is king. At any rate, Walmart puts us out of business. There is now nowhere in town to play the games you're buying. Like you can buy all the Magic you want at Walmart, but there's no equivalent service in Adrian.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So like that's a net bad. It doesn't matter that they employ 10 times as many people as I do.
Well, the thing,
Well, it's-
my issue with Walmart is they basically do everything that everyone else does less good than everyone else.
Right, but they put
they
it all in.
undercut it.
They put it
Yeah.
all under one house, under one
yeah,
roof.
yeah. Oh, they make it way convenient.
Yeah,
I
yep.
made that clear earlier. It's very convenient. The prices are low, but they do everything not quite as well as anyone
Yeah,
else.
right. And the problem is that when they continue to squeeze people out, Amazon's doing the same thing. Amazon's really hurting on Walmart, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Because now
From what
groceries
I
can be
understand,
delivered.
They're just
Yeah.
buying up warehouses left and right.
Well, they own
haven't
Whole
even
Foods.
done anything
That's a
yet.
brilliant move for them tax wise, but that's one reason they don't pay any taxes. 'Cause
Yeah.
they own all this.
Amazon
real
owns
estate.
Whole Foods.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
It's only a matter of time before we're just sitting on the couch and then we realize one day Amazon goes bankrupt and we have no way of getting food anymore. Because there's no,
I don't think-
there's no local store. You,
I don't
you
think
laugh.
that'll happen.
I think in 10 years, I bet you're not going to be laughing.
But I wanna know-
That's never happened.
I wanna
and
know
I don't
how they
honestly
could go
think
and it
it'll
hasn't
corrupt.
happened yet.
No,
Like-
but there's a huge history of big businesses like Amazon going out of business who were like the business of that industry who are now just gone.
I want
And they get
They
bailed
usually
out.
get bailed out.
No,
I
no,
think
I'm
if
not
they
saying
get
could
bailed out.
sometimes.
They haven't
I know
traditionally
that-
been
I
bailed
know
out.
that.
That's only
That's
happened.
why I call it the
Two-
Bank of Amazon.
two things-
Because it's only a matter of time till the
What-
government
what
just
did you say?
buys
No,
them
I-
out.
Well, I think it
Bails them
depends on
out.
the business bank. They do it for banks, but and
So-
I get it.
And big
well,
automotive
typically
industries,
only
but, like,
only time businesses have failed like that is when another business innovated and became better, and then they go out of business. So like I could see Amazon going out of business one day, but only because of an alternative that was better.
But
Or
but
cheaper.
What
Start an
is
underground
what does that
gaming
look
club.
like though? Like how?
Well,
What does it look
Amazon's
like
so
when Amazon
diverse.
goes out of
They're
business?
so diverse now. They're trying to make themselves fail-proof. I mean, it's
Yeah.
really a good business model, but I think it's bad overall for what it does.
Yeah.
Because it removes all. The incentive's not gone to have small local shops, but the ability to do so is starting to wane. I mean, I think there is a resurgence of people trying to invest in their local economies. And that's good. You know, people with money are doing that in their local economies too. It's not just
I agree.
peons.
I agree with what David is saying.
What's he saying?
Over here, where your Walmart sells ice cream, but they're not going to put a local ice cream shop out of business. Whereas we
Maybe
offer
not an
something-
ice cream shop.
No, but you're
you
right.
have to
but-
provide an additional
Oh,
service.
Like Walmart's not
we're
gonna take
providing
us out of
something here that they can't.
But okay, so here's a couple things that
Yeah, I
like
think
big
that's what's
businesses.
important.
If
Yeah, but
GW
that's-
sold to Walmart, that would really hurt
That's
us.
an
that
unfair
would,
comparison.
That
though.
would hurt.
Here's
That's a completely unfair comparison. You're talking about soft serve given to you
yeah.
to eat
No.
as a service versus going and buying it yourself and taking it home and
Right,
serving
but that is
yourself.
that's the
not
additional
same.
that's the additional service
Yeah.
that safeguards them against
Exactly,
the
it's
big
a
box
different-
store.
Yeah, I
business.
think
Well,
that's,
yeah,
I think
but
that's the
like-
point he's
but
making.
here,
though, like,
you
if
know-
you want to successfully compete with a big business like that, you have to provide an additional service.
So
that they don't.
what if I want
Which
to
is
make?
what we do
I
here.
want to, but what if I want to sell ice cream by the container? You don't get that option now,
It's
and
a
that
lot
money's
harder.
leaving the
It's a lot
community.
harder.
It's not good.
Now you
Well, once again, it depends because just
I-
because
okay,
We've established that's bad for the community, but does that translate automatically to being bad economically?
no, it doesn't.
locally, yes, I would say it does. Look at
Dude.
Adrian. Look, as soon as the production went out of Adrian, what happened? You remember this town in 2008 to 2013, right?
I remember that.
It was
I
a
do
ghost
remember
town.
when I was younger, the population of Adrian was near 30,000, and then
Then it dropped to like 22 or whatever.
21 something. That's 10,000 people
And
leaving.
that's directly because of jobs, and that's
Yeah.
directly
Eli,
because
we're
of
gonna talk
production.
about that
Oh,
in a
so
little
that's
bit.
bad. I mean, that's
I
Get that
agree. I
smash
agree
going.
with you on that front, but
There are
okay,
a
what's
couple
he
things.
saying?
but
What's-
the
hang on,
but-
what's
All right, we can't have dead air.
But
So,
what happens?
There are-
That's exactly what I'm saying about Walmart, though.
what are you saying about Walmart?
Well, you're talking about all these jobs leaving the
Well,
city
I don't.
because the industry shut down.
Walmart may have replaced the number of jobs that Marilat provided, but not the quality. Nowhere near close.
I'll give you that.
I'd probably
100%.
agree with that.
Well, I mean, it's not even close.
Well, you're also going from skilled labor to unskilled labor.
Yeah.
Right,
There's
but
different. It's different.
Right, but if you got 10 jobs at Walmart, 10 jobs at Marilat, they're not the same, and the life that those people are living in Adrian is not the same.
Right.
The quality that they're building up in Adrian is not the same.
Right.
Right. So if you make $75,000 a year at Marilat, let's say, you have a house
had a
in
lot
Adrian.
of high-paying jobs.
What's that?
Marilat had a lot of high-paying
Yeah,
jobs.
they
I
had
mean,
a
people
lot
with
of really
six-figure
high
incomes.
paying jobs. You
from
had
there.
you had a house in Adrian. Your kids went to Adrian public schools. Okay, so the schools had more kids. They're better schools now because there's more money, right? It's just it's a snowball. So as soon as those leave, now all we have is the prison, right? And then families moving in to be near the people that are in the prison, right? Which has happened, but we've
It
lost
does.
all of our high paying jobs in the city, and you saw what we were left with. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
that's
I wanted to touch on something real quick. Talking about how a couple of ways big businesses would affect, and it almost affect it or could affect Acropolis Games. So Amazon made a deal with Wizards of the Coast
Yes, I wanted to come back to this.
to acquire products directly from Wizards of the Coast that they could sell, and they immediately undercut all stores because everyone knows that stores sell boxes for $100 typically, and they immediately charge them $90 right out the gate. So
we got to come back.
the
to
fact
that
that
comment.
Wizards of the Coast and Amazon kind of made a partnership really negatively affects and all local game stores. And another thing is that Wizards of the Coast or Hasbro also were in talks with GameStop about essentially making all GameStops local game stores for Magic or local Magic stores, which would negatively affect any local game store because
Yeah.
GameStops can open up anywhere. They can immediately provide.
They get the best real estate. That's the number one. They get the
Yeah.
best locations and they're the most visible, right? So we're
Yeah.
out here in the periphery of Adrian. You got to know where we're at.
Yeah.
You don't stumble on us. Everybody knows where the GameStop's at. They got nice big signage.
Yeah, right off the highway.
Yeah. So had
Bundle-
that been the case when we tried to open, we would have faced a lot more struggles than we did.
Yeah.
You know, I think we have a good community built up,
Well, yeah.
so it's not going to be as hard. But It'll
but
still be a
regardless, if
No, did
we don't
they-
have something, and then they did, it negative. I mean, that's not necessarily bad for competition, but like they have a plenty of more resources to dump into.
right. But it's like the
into
Gen Con
acquiring
thing when
stuff.
it's not a competition, right? So
That's
it's like
what I was going to say.
so-
It's
so,
not-
like,
competition is good. This
if
isn't
you're 7
competition.
foot tall at the hoop and I'm 5'5", like that's not we're competing, but are we really competing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if GameStop gets exclusive and early product,
Yeah,
You-
yeah,
th-
because they have a
that's what it
partnership
is.
with Hasbro.
right? So like if Wizards decides to put out the GameStop exclusive booster box, You know what I mean? That stores can't get. Like,
Did you say they're confirmed doing that?
No, no,
Like,
no.
or that was a
The GameStop thing.
talked about?
GameStop needs that to stay alive.
the GameStop is hurting a lot.
The GameStop thing
GameStop is
that
constantly trying to
got
diversify.
squashed or tabled. Nothing is going towards that right now.
Hopefully, somebody was a voice of reason and was like, "Listen, these little stores with these pop bottle glass store owners, if in the '90s, like they literally made your game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When kids would come in with freaking lunch money, you know, they'd ride their bikes there like Stranger
Yeah.
Things style, and you'd sell them a $1.50 pack of Magic cards. Like they literally built Magic.
Yeah.
It wouldn't exist without those people. So
Are we
same
talking
thing
about
with
comic books?
Same
Both
exact
thing.
concept as comic
Yeah.
books. You know what I mean?
Except for it's bigger.
Well, yeah, I mean it's a longer, more deep
I'm
seated
just
thing.
jab
Than,
at Jake.
I don't know why.
okay, I wanted to come back to. I don't know who this is.
That's Alex.
That's Alex.
Newsom.
Yeah.
Xander
Yeah.
Christian.
Oh, okay. Well, why
Yeah,
does
you
why
just
is your name
ignore him.
Alex Newsom?
Probably because
Because
Alex
he's a
and
social worker.
That's his stage name.
Oh, that's genius.
So okay, then
I thought he
never
was in
mind. I was
Facebook
going to
jail.
address him. We're not going to address
No,
him.
he's
I've had that happen.
he's had. I guess people try to find him on Facebook.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I'm sure that happens all the time. Okay,
That's,
so
that's a name that not many people will find. So good job.
what did you just say? No, don't
God.
read that online. So the comic book issue, right? Are we losing it, Tony?
Huh?
No,
I see what
no,
you
we're
did
good.
there.
Right. So the comic book issue, the way it's a little different because they oversaturated it in the '90s, right? So
Well,
like it was,
they more than oversaturated. They destroyed the market.
right.
Yeah.
So there's a myriad of different ways that these
And
industries
they
have killed themselves.
still publish things the same way.
Now, but now they have movies to back them up.
Yeah.
The movies are literally keeping the comic book industry
Yeah.
alive, aren't they?
Marvel only has a comic line because of the movies.
To
I'm
push the
pretty sure.
movies.
Do you think the
DC's
Well,
just
maybe
as
not
bad.
push. Like,
Do you think
that's not
online
fair,
comics hugely affected paper comics?
but- well, Marvel actually sells things digitally, so
Yeah.
Which I
No.
think is. I was just talking to somebody about that the other day. That is a horrible idea.
yeah.
I get it.
But
like
it
they
costs.
wanna just,
It's business wise, it's an excellent idea.
yeah, but
Um.
again, at some
I
point
agree
you're
with you.
biting the.
Yeah.
Because how much does the exposure, like, think about all the free advertising we have in here, right?
Yeah.
Like, we got these big Games Workshop signs, like,
Yeah, but when you're on the app, you can push exactly what you want minute by minute.
Yeah.
You,
What do you
gotta
mean?
You don't have to.
You
Like,
can-
Marvel doesn't have to send you a poster and hope that you put it up on.
no,
the wall.
I agree, but, like, I would bet you were a comic book fan because at some point in your childhood you wandered into a comic store.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, no, not a comic store. It was a grocery store.
They had comics, right?
They had a. No kid likes to walk around with their parents to shop, so I would go steal comic books.
Right.
You go steal comic
Well,
books?
I'd read them and not purchase them.
Oh, okay.
So,
Guess that's stealing.
Treat
no
it
way.
as a
Consume
library.
Stealing
them,
them.
consume them
literally-
without paying for them.
this store literally exists because Brad and I walked into a game store and looked at 40K boxes, never having seen them.
I want to point out I was there too.
Were you there?
You weren't. You weren't there. That
I wasn't
time.
there that time,
The-
but
the
I was
time
there
I'm
the
talking
first
about
time.
when Brad
We
said-
got all your stuff, all our stuff
they
before
lo-
you
they
did.
walked
You
into
saw
the
us
store
playing,
and
you're
was
like,
like,
all right, I'm done.
Is
I
that
want in.
Fallout?
Yeah.
What's that?
Okay, so sorry to
Fallout?
interrupt, but yeah, basically,
Yeah, I mean, Brad says, I'll do it if you do it. Like, but had we not walked into that store, do we pull the trigger?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
you're right.
Like, I don't.
You're absolutely
I don't
right.
know that we do.
I think 40K is in a very weird situation though because you don't get 40K stuff anywhere else except from Games Workshop, right?
Me or
No, I'm talking
consumers?
about just people.
Well,
yeah,
I mean-
I mean,
consumers.
that's
like
not
you
fair.
can't,
Like you don't
can't
get
go
comics
to.
anywhere except for Diamond.
Well, I guess that's fair.
yeah, you don't
I guess
get
that's fair.
40K.
No one
stuff
else
from-
sells
But
comics.
GW's
though, right? Like,
GW does all their own production, distribution, everything. It's all
Oh,
in-house.
so GW is worse than Diamond.
Well, I'm
not in terms
no.
of customer service.
no,
Or
nothing's
quality
worse
of
than
product.
Diamond.
That's my point.
Go ahead. Were you making a point?
Yeah, I don't.
'Cause I lost
but,
my train of
yeah,
thought.
anyway, so because I don't know. I guess I was just
All
saying
right.
game stores sort of have a kind
Well,
of quasi monopoly
GW
over.
does a really good job.
Games
they,
Workshop
They
product.
only sell to stores.
That's true. You can't get a model and read it online.
Exactly. Yeah,
Right.
you can't.
But
You
it's
can't
a
buy.
physical
You can't buy a
books
model
you can,
from.
though,
Yeah,
right?
and that's a
Walmart.
big problem is
Yeah.
the pirating of the
Amazon.
books.
Or
And
Amazon. Well, you might be able to.
you
I don't know.
it's more limited. It's harder to get.
Well, I
people-
guess if a local game store opens up an Amazon store,
Yeah,
they can.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
and
mean,
what's
the only
stupid is they
reason-
price gouge on there. Like just
They do.
I think that print comic books they're going by the wayside.
I agree.
I think a lot of that physical media is going away. I think I wouldn't be surprised the next 15 years.
It sucks. I hate to see it go, but
Well, it really
It'll go to
it's
Years
the
ago,
PDF.
best
down-
business decision.
It'll go to
I
PDFs,
downloaded an
EPUBs,
app
and
and it was
Mobies.
just so much more convenient.
it will.
Yeah.
And,
Like
I read a lot of content
I typed in
digitally,
Spider-Man
so.
and it gave me every single Spider-Man issue.
That's
variant,
another issue that you
everything.
can go back and get old issues much easier than getting a physical one.
Right.
Because
That does
once-
hurt. That does hurt. Like the long-term stores that like bought
Yeah.
a collection and got issues 1 through 50 of Spider-Man
Yeah.
and wanted to
But
sell them.
Those
We're
will always
looking
have
at-
a value, though.
But we're looking at
Some of
two
them will.
different.
Not all of them.
I think there's like a distinct comic book collector.
ahead,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I'm
Two
sorry.
different markets. Okay, so you've got the story and you've got the collector.
Right.
So if somebody is looking at these as art, they want that physical media.
Yeah.
But if you just want to read the story, just get a Marvel Unlimited.
Yeah.
Like,
Or just
it's-
torrent them. Like we have a
Don't
lot.
steal them. I don't think anybody should ever steal.
Well, I don't think that.
But
I'm not advocating that.
I
But like,
just
how
wanna
many
point out
people do we
you
have locally
openly
that do
said that you
that?
stole them earlier.
I was like 8 and I didn't know any better.
Well, how many people have we talked to in the store about a comic arc and they're like, oh yeah, I know about that. And you're like, well, did you get them? Buy them here?
Yeah, where'd you
no,
get
no,
it?
I got them online.
Yeah, that's because there's avenues. You know. to get-
yeah, I mean, we all
But it's
understand.
not- we don't need to bring them
Don't
up.
steal.
Right, but
Well, I mean, and now like when you frequent a place that makes its living on this stuff, like it's even more of an incentive. But some people just don't get it, man.
well,
I mean, some
So,
people
well-
really think that I like that you buy a pack of Magic. I'm like, oh, cool, $4 more for me, Tim
more like
Roberts.
35 cents.
But I mean, you're always gonna have
Loyalty
that.
died in the 80s. It's gone.
I think there's a lot of. A lot of people hate on millennials. But I think millennials are considerably loyal. To
I disagree with
dude,
you.
I don't think you can ever paint a generation with one trait.
I
That's
agree.
fair.
I
Almost
agree.
passionately disagree with
That's
that.
fair. I know there's a lot of people who, when they want to be
Yeah, I
loyal to
don't
something,
think
they
so.
are.
You might. I mean, we might just.
I know
some
a lot
loyal
of people that are very loyal people, but they don't take it to the extent they should.
Oh, that's fair. That's true. They always cut a corner here and there.
Especially when it comes to comics. I know a lot of people that read comics. I don't know any of them that buy them here.
Yeah.
Not- and I mean, I don't know what else to do to get them to.
Yeah.
The thing is, like when they sell them digitally and they sell them cheaper digitally,
No, same price.
is it the same price?
Same price.
Yeah.
That's wild.
There's
money.
That's
so
brilliant.
there's
money.
online.
Yeah. You've already established a demand for
So-
the product.
There's a window between. You can get them, I think, 6 months in advance. Print physically.
Right, but how long till they're like, we're not doing this anymore? We're just.
I hope never, but it's gonna happen.
It'll happen.
Yeah, it's gonna-
That's fair. I
I
shouldn't
mean,
have
I'm realistic
done it.
about it.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Diamond might, because once that happens, Diamond dries up too.
They've got a very diverse. Like they've got a lot of stuff. They're
Yeah, like action figures and
And
busts
clothing
and.
and a lot
How does
of
anybody ever
things.
buy those like brass Batman busts? Like they look sweet, but they're like $1,000, and somebody
Yeah.
buys them. Like
they're cool. There's a demand. Or they
Yeah, I was
want to
about to say.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but if you order them from Diamond, you'll be lucky if they show up. You
Well,
know
I
how
mean,
many
you'll get it in the
Dragon
next-
Ball figures I've ordered?
I've
Probably
never
like
seen
15.
one.
No joke.
Dude, they're all gonna show up one time and we have like $1,000 invoice. I'm like, Johnny.
But
there's-
over
you
like a
can't-
year.
It's
You
like
can't control
year
it.
2023. They all come in.
It literally
Diamond
took
50 of
7
them.
months for us to get a
Garbage.
T-shirt one time.
Wow.
You remember when we did
Yes.
MegaCon? It was Batman Day.
Yeah,
We ordered shirts for that.
that's
Hey, we
right. We,
got
never
Mega-
got them. I remember
We got
that.
we got
MegaCon
'em.
coming up too.
When did we get them?
About 6 months later.
I don't remember ever getting them, but I remember talking about I was supposed to have
I bought
t-shirts.
one of them.
Yay to MegaCon.
Were they dated? Please
No.
say they're dated like
No.
2017.
I do want to touch on the Golden Rhino was last week.
Yes,
the team
okay.
tournament.
Yeah.
I thought it was tomorrow. I was way
I
off.
thought we talked about Golden Rhino.
What's that?
Hey,
Okay, I forgot.
Wait,
about
we
it.
kind of
has Warhammer ever done a $30 million tournament?
No,
No.
but it's not Fortnite.
No, I'm not even sure if they've ever done a
Warhammer-
$30 tournament.
40K right now is
$30
the
tournament.
40K right now is the hottest it's ever been tournament wise.
Yeah, it is.
I,
So,
I
like-
agree.
Like
What's
they had
the player
700
base?
people at the LVO, and like how many people at these Magic events? How many are there?
thousands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like over 2,000 people.
Yeah.
Right. So like 40K, like as popular as it is, it's still so small comparatively.
well, think about how much harder it is to have to
Well,
accumulate
sure.
a 2,000 point army
2,000
versus
point that's
versus
painted.
a deck.
You have to
60 cards,
transport
right.
it.
And it's not even like the resources. I'm talking about like the time and diligence.
Yeah.
Like
The skill.
to paint,
Well, yeah.
to assemble
Well,
to
not
assemble
only that,
paint
to
and
play
transport.
competitively, all like 6 rounds of 2-hour, 3-hour games. Like,
Oh, it's brutal.
Yeah.
like
It's gonna be brutal.
it's just
Sweating.
it's a whole nother
Smell.
mentality
yeah. Like where
than most
I
40K
think-
players probably.
I think that
Yeah.
that's why it's more laid back too, because you know what I mean. That you're at a table longer with people in 40K or
You gotta
Sigmar.
get along, or
Yeah,
else it's
like
gonna
where
be a
in
long
Magic, you're
game.
like in Magic, you literally want to win as fast as possible.
yeah,
Like competitively, right?
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
there's none of this. We're playing.
and then
hey,
if he's a turd,
I'm,
you go off.
I'm Tim. It's nice to meet you. It's like boom, get out of here.
No, you do that.
So,
Right,
you usually shake your hand.
I'm not saying.
Or at least good
I'm
people
not
say
saying
it.
there's no
but
sportsmanship.
you're being a bit disingenuous. You're saying that doesn't happen in 40K.
Oh, absolutely, it
like
does.
the whole point
But
is
the
to
best
table
part is
somebody
that those
immediately,
guys,
right?
those
Like, that's-
people are called
Not
out.
always.
Not
and, like,
anymore.
yeah, not always.
Yeah, I mean,
Makes
you're
me a
trying to
little sad.
win as quickly as possible.
but tabling is not
Well,
always
sure,
the win.
Sure, but it's it's different. It's like you want to. You know what I'm saying, right? Like.
Well, yeah. So like when if I can have a good time with someone for a
I
half hour,
can't win
45
40K in
minutes.
faster than 5 turns. I
Yeah.
can't do it because that's how you know what I
Yeah.
mean. In
And-
Magic, you can try to win turn 3, right?
Yeah, and then some people,
Yeah.
some people have no social decorum, and if they're a turd, you just go off to your friends after a half hour and be like, "Man, this guy sucks."
Well, I think that's the gaming community at large. I mean, you've been on Xbox Live before, right? You're too.
Yeah, yeah.
You've
I've
I
been
remember-
verbally abused
I
before.
remember Call of Duty 4.
Oh man, what a
Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
what a visceral.
Remember Modern Warfare
Why
2
yes,
lobbies?
I did play Gears of War.
I love it.
I would say Modern Warfare 2
I never
lobbies
had any
remain my
issue with
favorite.
Really?
yeah, I just muted everybody.
Oh yeah.
I love talking trash. Like people
That was the
like,
first
you
thing I
suck.
did
I'm like,
was
I
I
don't
just
care,
mute
bro.
everybody.
My favorite thing to do was just to call, like, win the game, and then go back to the lobby and call them all losers.
I don't know.
And then
Honestly,
That's
and then-
a really like shitty
honestly,
thing
I
to do.
think the communities were better back
No,
then.
'cause
though,
they were-
because
they were
I made a ton of
they
friends
were
online
being,
that I would play
they were
with
being very
frequently.
Do you remember
toxic.
Sedated
I
Surgeon?
anymore.
I made a bunch
Yeah.
of friends on Destiny that I'm still like legit friends with today. Like,
Yeah, I don't know if I still
Yeah,
talk to
usually
any of
when
those
two
people,
people
but-
share a traumatic experience, so it brings them closer together.
I
so.
may be. I mean, that's. I'm not gonna say it in a public forum.
Okay, so real quick before we wrap this up,
Dracarys.
I want to touch on because
We've
we
just
unfortunately missed the mark
experienced.
because we wanted to do a Smash Brothers tournament last month, but we weren't able to get it together.
Boring.
But this month,
You weren't
I
able
want
to
throw
get
it
it
together. Yes, no, I wasn't.
There's one more
Okay?
day this month.
Come at me.
I was like,
Is it
Dakota, you're
tomorrow,
putting this together,
Dakota?
right?
It is not
Yeah,
tomorrow.
it's going to be
Well,
the
there's only
27th.
one more day left of this
Crickets.
month.
So your favorite thing
You-
to do
you got
was
tomorrow.
to be
Oh, okay.
an asshole,
August.
Jake?
Yes, because they were being
When are
mean
the-
first,
when are
and
the-
then so
when's
when I
the-
won,
We can't announce it
I
right
would
now.
call them
Oh, okay.
losers, and they
Okay,
would get
but
so offended
Just look for it
because
because
they lost.
I'm going to be posting
That's a
something.
really shitty thing. To
I'm
do.
going to put
They were
something
being
up
mean
because
first.
August
They're
it's
calling-
happening.
They were being toxic. They were saying worse things than I was.
All right. Well, I
All
know
I did
that
was call them a loser.
something big happened this week, and I can't remember what it was. I
He's
missed
got
it.
you. He's got you. You brought yourself to their level.
Nah,
You made yourself just as
Nah,
bad
they
as
were
they
talking crap about our skill.
You
Like,
can't defend
even
this.
when I went like 10 and 10, and then I'd call them a loser, they'd be like, "You suck the most," and I'd be like, "Well, you're still the loser." And then it was funny, and
Jake, I've played a lot of basketball with you in my day, so I know like
You know,
your,
kind of
your
trash
trash talking is like
Insensitive.
you're like even if you miss a shot, you're like yeah, bitch.
what?
That's right.
All right, guys.
First
you
off,
know,
I don't
feel like
miss.
if I,
Shut
I
your
feel like if I played you in basketball and like you kicked the living hell out of me, I'd be like, all right, let's go back to the store and play some 40K.
I don't like to
And
be
I'd be
hurt
like, I
that.
don't have 4 hours.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Jackie, just stop.
Episode 37.
Bye.
We going to Friggers?